Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at an Athearn Ready to Roll EMD SD39 with DCC Sound equipped. I was able to pick up this model for about $220. You might be able to find them a little cheaper depending on where you shop. MSRP I assume would be around $250, $260. Let's take a close-up look at the details. Nicely done paint scheme, crisp lettering, crisp lines. This is the Sioux Line Lake States paint scheme. On the side of the cab there it does say Lake States, although the camera doesn't want to focus. Maybe right there. Semi see-through fans, winterization hatch, working beacon, handrails are very nice, except for right here on the cab. There's one out of alignment. Other than that, very nice. Speaking of the detail, the locomotive as is comes fully detailed. But just in case that wasn't enough, Athearn provided 2 bags of additional detail parts. Now I think some of these are replacement parts. In fact, I think most of them are. And there's a lot of parts there. That's really cool that they included these. Here's the included paperwork that you get in the box. Warranty card, exploded parts diagram, Athearn newsletter, and quick start guide with all the DCC functions. Here's a quick look at each function. One thing I want to point out, the rear pilot on this model seems to be a little low. In fact, I'll show you here. There, you hear that click? The rear pilot is hitting the joint on the rails, and the joint on the rails is flush. So that means it hangs a little low, so I'm probably going to have to sand the rear pilot ever so slightly. The front one seems fine. In fact, here on this grade crossing, you can see that rear pilot is almost touching the rails. And I don't care who you are or what layout you have, your track is never going to be 100% perfectly flat and smooth. So yeah, you may run into a situation here where you may have to sand the pilot. It is plastic, and if you're careful, it wouldn't be difficult to do. Alright, let's go ahead and fire it up. Alright, here's the startup sequence. The volume out of the box on this model is quite loud. Most of the commands are the typical. I showed you the diagram showing all the functions. Of course, F0 did the headlight, F1 does bell, F2 does horn, F3 does short horn, and F6 on this model turns the beacon on and off, and of course F8 mutes. Coupler height on this model is just a hair high. The weight of this model is comparable to most other models on the market today, and I find in real world situations it relates to about 20 to 30 cars. Some of the pull tests out there claim that these locomotives can pull 50, 60, 80 cars or more, but in real world situations I'm just not finding that's always the case. So I'd say it's going to pull about the average, expect about 20 to 30 cars. I usually run my locomotives in pairs anyway, so the pulling power doesn't always matter that much. But if I'm going to pull a local train around, which is about 10 cars, 15 cars, then a single locomotive will usually always do just fine. So as far as pulling power, I have no complaints on this model. Alright, let's take it out for a spin. So for final thoughts, very good model. I ran it around the layout one complete time, didn't have any issues. Even with that low pilot, it didn't really get stuck up on anything. Now I know the train I'm pulling is rather short, but that's okay. We know it's going to perform well. Everything you'd expect from Athearn. So I would recommend this model. I'm very impressed. Good price point considering. Nicely detailed. The sound is a little loud, but it does sound very well. Performance-wise, when I had it muted, the drivetrain is very quiet and very smooth performing. Well, that's about it for this time. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care. Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at an Athearn Ready to Roll EMD SD39 with DCC Sound equipped.